Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a blues battling, rock and roll call to fame, stage stomping, riff ripping, Uncle Gary tore his ACL doing a knee slide episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Sup, dude?
No, I'm not. You finally rode your bike.
Bitch is going.
Yeah.
Is in gear. She is alive and thriving, dude. Yeah, and I'm slow. I'm really slow.
Mentally.
Really, no, and on the bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really nervous about traffic. Never been more concerned about traffic in my entire life than when you're on a fucking shitty little road bike.
Right.
You know
When you're in your car, you just pull your phone out. You forget about traffic.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. I got like 4,000 pounds of steel and aluminum around me. I'll be okay.
Right.
No.
No.
I got fucking.
You're on 10 pounds of aluminum.
It's me and 8 pounds and fucking 1-inch wide tires, baby. Yeah,
way.
it's not great. So, I love you.
Yeah.
And with that intro,
Joining us this week in the Days Grimm Shoebox,
Shoebox.
The Strangers, the band. How are you guys?
Hello, everybody.
I'm good. I think we're good.
I think you guys are the highest population we've ever had on an episode before,
Yeah. And
It's
the
a-
youngest.
and youngest. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are a
The most and the youngest.
couple of whippersnappers. How are you guys doing? Do you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Sounds like you did. You had
eventful.
some folks over at your house or something, dude.
Yeah. I've got a little barn. My dad has a barn, and I just had some friends over.
Dang, dude.
My birthday was actually last weekend, but we didn't really get to hang out with anybody because, I mean,
Shit.
we had a show and stuff, so I just...
Well, happy
Yeah,
belated
cool.
birthday, dude.
Thank you.
How was the show?
The show was... it was good. Yeah.
Did you guys
It
sell
was-
some CDs?
Yeah, we sold a few CDs, a few stickers and stuff. So.
Can I ask where you guys played?
Lamasco
Lamasco's.
Drag Night and Jive After 5.
Jive After 5. What is that? I don't know what that even is.
I don't
I
know.
think
I
it's
don't
just
even-
like the all ages time where they have music playing and stuff like that.
Dude, those are the ones to go to, man. Back when we were young, back in the day, dude. You guys ever hear of Wired? Was that a thing? Yeah. Did you guys ever hear that? You ever hear of Wired? Dude, it was like some dude named Gary just owned a coffee shop, and then he like he didn't even renovate the basement. He just like put up some like egg carton things and like made a stage. And he was like, "All right, if you guys want to play music, just come out here," you know.
That's the way to do it.
Dude, and then it was just like packed every do you remember Wired?
Yeah.
It was packed every fucking week. It was just like sweaty armpits and fucking like Adderall. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane, dude. It was a good time though.
So you guys are all from the Evansville area?
Well, me and Lucas are from Santa Claus, little town, southern Indiana.
And you're from Poseyville?
I'm from Evansville.
Evansville.
And Lucas, where are you from?
I'm from Santa Claus as well.
Oh, you guys are both from
Rylan
Santa
and
Claus.
I grew up like a street apart from each other in a subdivision in Santa Claus.
Hell yeah.
So,
Childhood
Dope,
friends.
dude.
Yeah.
So if you guys are a little familiar with the show, we like to do our death of the week. And I think this would be a good time to go ahead and bring her on up, and then we can get to know you guys a little bit better and about how you guys came to be. So without further ado, this week's death of the week brought to you by Corndog Development. Don't worry, I won't kill you. We're gonna go ahead and cruise into this bad fella. Over the hill, one-hit wonder boy band Forever. Have you guys ever heard of Forever? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
No.
Don't worry, I don't either. Band Forever was popular during the 90s and early 2000s, performing for large crowds in amphitheaters and arenas. However, they found little success and now perform in dive bars and small nightclubs. On one night, Forever's band members Tim, Norm, Jeff, Tony, and Joe perform on stage for a very small, unenthusiastic crowd at a dive bar.
A lot
So
of
they're
one-syllable names.
yeah, and they're on the downhill spiral. You know what I'm saying? There's probably a lot of cocaine and like overusage of alcohol at this
Stepped
point.
on cocaine.
Yeah, like dirty coke, like there's roaches
Baking
in it.
soda.
And then it goes on to read, Tim, the egomaniacal lead singer, decides to do a stage dive while the band sings their song "Stop Calling Me Baby." He dives, but with no one to support him, he falls to the ground, shattering his spine, causing paralysis. His entire body shuts down, and then he dies. That's this week's Death of the Week.
Yeah. This sounds like
Fuck,
maybe
bro.
like 6 people were in the
Brutal.
crowd and they all.
Dude, think twice, okay? So I gotta say, just think twice before you get a little overjoyous on the stage, all right?
Tell Lucas. He's the only one jumping.
Damn, dude.
I have not staged. I've not dived off stage yet. So
This is insane to me. And well, actually, there's a small other part here. With the death of their, this is a funny part that I remember. With the death of their lead singer, Forever now truly lives up to their name, as now they are only 4 band members. Forever. I don't know. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Dude. That's fucking like, who thinks that, like, first off, stage dives are a terrible idea. Just right off the rip. Like, if you're not selling out fucking Lollapalooza, fucking knock it out, okay? If it's not, like, Woodstock 99, let's fucking chill it the fuck out, Fred
Right,
Durst.
if there's not pallets out there for you to leapfrog across.
I just don't know what people are thinking, dude. Like, he's in a bar with 5 people.
At least.
They said it was a very very small and unenthusiastic crowd. Know your audience, dude.
He was too coked
That's
up.
exactly, that cockroach coke got him, dude.
Yeah.
That cockroach coke. Dude, yeah. So, what was his name again? I don't even know, dude. The Tim from Forever. You egomaniacal lead singer. You are gone and also forgotten.
Until we remembered you today.
Damn, dude. So no more. Don't do any stage dives, okay? Take that with you, because you guys are putting out good shit.
Yeah,
So
you
I've listened to the obviously the one full length album you guys have put out, and it's really solid stuff. So I think you guys are really on the verge of doing something really, really great here.
Before
So
we get too carried away about
sorry.
getting into the album, how'd the band form? How'd the Strangers start?
That's a good one.
I mean, I assume you two were playing instruments.
Yeah,
a
it was
block
basically
apart.
like the Strangers. Before we were called the Strangers, was me and Lucas just like playing. I would just play guitar, and he would like play bass and stuff, and like just jam out some songs that we were partying to back in the day, some rock and roll. And Lucas just one day he just belts out this scream, and I was like, what in the hell was that? Like, where did that come from this guy? From this little boy back in the day. And then ever since, we've been the Strangers. Nah, I'm just kidding. But Caden did eventually come along. Like, we kind of recruited Caden. There's not too many people in our like small town that played music, especially people our age. So we basically went with like anybody that we could find that was interested in similar stuff that
like,
we
if you
were.
met a
There's-
hobo at a Walmart and he was on a fiddle,
Yeah, I'm like,
hey.
what's up? Do you play bass?
Yeah, dude.
Fiddler.
You're sick on that fiddle. I got 6 strings. What's up, dude?
bass is 4.
But a fiddle's more relatable
Or, I
to
mean,
a
they have
guitar.
5-string basses.
Dude, well, I guess they do. They have a 6-string bass too, actually. Joke's on you,
guess,
dude. Yeah,
But
fucking
not
too bad
normal.
the bass player's not here to smash on you too.
Yeah, I mean, just gangbang it up.
He
Damn,
sticks
dude.
to 4
there's
strings.
actually a 24-string bass. So
That's fucking insane to me, dude. Have you seen
Totally
those? Who are those
unnecessary.
dudes that make those guitars with the fucking fretboards that are like a damn? You know what I'm talking about? They're like
I
this.
don't know.
You don't know?
like
Multi-scale.
I know what you're
guitars,
talking
fan
about,
frets.
but-
Yeah. But they like make these tremendous guitars. It's 1 fret, and the fretboard is literally this fucking tall. I swear to you, it's like 40 strings, and it's like they make music videos and stuff. They're like big metal heads. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
There's like a couple of YouTube guys who like
Yeah, that's
do
who I'm thinking
shreds,
of.
shredding stuff on
Yeah,
those.
and they can wail on them too.
Yeah.
That's what that makes me think of. But yeah, joke's on you, bro. So know your place. All right. So how do you come up with the name though? Like, where does the name derive from? That's what I want to know.
We had been discussing a bunch of names, and we were kind of at a spot where we're like, all right, what are we gonna name this? I guess we need a name. We had a show coming up and everything, and
We had a show, no name.
yeah, exactly,
No solid name.
So we had been messing around with some names before, but we're like, nothing was really.
Can you?
standing
Do you want
out.
to spill a couple of those? Just so like,
If
do you
I'm
remember?
being honest, I don't even remember. Like we were
I was
just
hoping you
saying
could remember.
random like
The potatoes.
I think I remember
stuff,
a couple.
Yeah.
What were
It was
they?
like
Yeah, go for it.
so there's like God, like the Greasy Stooges,
Ooh, I like that.
Sons of Sky.
Not bad. Not bad.
Or like some just like anything that sounds like majestic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I remember
Wombat.
I don't know if I remember the Greasy Stooges one at all.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
don't
thought of
remember
that
We were
actually
gonna name the
yesterday.
podcast Trash.
Trash.
Yeah, so people are like, "What are you listening to?" Trash.
And now I'm really regretting not calling it the shoebox because we always refer to
You
this
can
as
name
the
the
shoebox because
studio,
it's a
whatever.
very
You just
small.
parenthesize it like
Yeah, the Days Grimm shoebox.
yeah.
Fucking
At the shoebox.
subtitle at hashtag shoebox. You get it.
Yeah.
The sorry, I got.
So you get your first show, and you guys just make the name.
Oh yeah,
up,
no.
like,
So
en route?
basically we had been what we would do is we like look up a name and like search it, and then if it was taken, we're like, fuck, we can't use it or whatever. But Brown we had looked up the Strangers, I remember before, but we were like, oh, we're not gonna use it because like there was like another small band or whatever or something like that. But then then Rylan brought up one day later, and he's like, well, my mom's like maiden name is Strange, and I just think the Strangers would sound cool. And I just said, you know what? Yeah, let's just go with it. Fuck it. Let's just go with it. And we just did it. And ever since then, it's felt really good. Like we've even had moments where like we should probably change the name and this and that. But then, I mean, I just think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
I like the name. I don't know why. It makes me think of Stranger Things. And on that point, you guys watch Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yes,
that series?
yes, sir.
Fucking crushed it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Killer
Yeah.
show. Killer fucking show.
It is.
And then not to mention season 5 and 6 are coming out soon. I think 5 is coming out in like May, I think, or something. So
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know, dude, the kids are going to be like all freaking, like, they're going to be like 30 years old now. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
dude,
don't
you
know
guys
what the
took
deal is.
5 years off. Like, what?
They're supposed to be like maybe in Russia or something like
Yeah.
that. Well, like at the end of the season, I was like, because there's some Russian interference. Like,
Yeah. Big
but-
red scare.
but yeah. So I'm like, how's that gonna go?
No, but I don't know why your name makes me think of Stranger Things, and then the reason that correlation sticks with me is because your music has this like really, really, and don't take insult to this, but like old vibe, like a retro vibe, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure
It's
you
a
guys.
compliment.
I'm sure you do this intentionally. Like you're going for that.
well, yeah, and it even says in their band description, what does it say? 50s, 60s, and
It's
90s.
like 60s, 70s, and then like some 90s stuff where they started to.
So you guys say
get
you
little
draw a
bit more
lot of
feel.
influence from that time period.
Yeah, some of us we kind of have. It's a little bit different across the board. Teelan's in a little bit of a different area than that. Caden exists a little more in the '90s kind of genre, and then Lucas
Okay.
is all over the place. But
What about
Okay.
you?
I'm a little bit all over the place as well. I growing up, I listened to like '80s rock and stuff because my parents grew up in the '80s.
Hell yeah.
Just
Just cocaine and Corvettes,
yeah,
dude.
just like fucking Guns
That's
N'
all it
Roses
was.
and
Yeah.
Metallica.
Yeah. Okay. Some more darker stuff.
Yeah, more with a little more bite to it.
Less hair bands.
Yeah, less
more metal.
cheesy.
Okay. Yeah.
A little more attitude. But
Is that where you think like you get the like skill set of like making sure you can play the guitar behind your head and stuff, or
I didn't even like. Well, basically, the guitar behind the head thing was like, I just knew people would like it, you know. So I just kind of, it's not really that much different from playing it right here. It's
right?
Yeah. Because
I'm not looking at it anyway.
you keep your
most of the time.
palms facing the same way, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're doing anything different.
Yeah,
I don't know
Some
if you
people
could.
think it's backwards or like reversed. But
Yeah, no, I didn't know if you saw my Cherrywood Alvarez over there, but yeah, I fucking shred. It's no big
Yeah.
deal. Let me know if you guys are looking for a lead guitar. No, I'm just joking. I'm trash. But yeah, it's basically the same. Like neither hand goes either way, so you're just doing the same thing, but just like
then the left arm, it does get a little bit tough, like moving
down
up
the
and
scale,
this
yeah, through
way.
the scale. But like the
Other than
strumming
that.
would be upside down, but other than that, it's pretty much the same, right? So
Yeah.
like down is up and up is down. But-
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, so when you guys first start doing shows, are you doing cover bands or are you like playing your own music?
Well, actually, at our first show, we played a lot of our own music. I mean, some of those songs I don't even know. We've kind of forgot about them.
Right.
You know what I mean, but yeah, we've played covers at pretty much every show. But now we're at the point where it's like we might have 3 covers for a 2-hour set, and then the rest is all original material.
Right. So when you guys first started writing these songs, who was doing most of the writing, or was it everybody?
It was kind of like, well, it is everybody. I would say Rylan would bring some riffs to jam on. Noah would put a drum beat on. Caden would put a bass line. I mean, I would put my vocal melody, and then later on we would really get into like what we want the lyrics to be. But like the lyrics have gone through their own
and or melodies and things.
Yeah,
like
melodies
that.
as well.
Just the nitty gritty
yeah.
stuff.
So I mean, our first show, the songs that you're hearing, like some of the songs that we've have on the record, we played at our first show, but that version of the song was totally different.
How many like EPs did you put out before this album?
Nothing. This is it. We had 2 singles like 2 weeks before.
What made you guys decide to start producing a CD or album?
Yeah, because that's hard work, man.
We wanted some sort of recording, and we had talked about a lot of different ways that we could go about it, like such as an EP or a bunch of singles and eventually an album or whatever. But whenever Noah passed away, we were talking about our options, and we're just like, we should just put it all out as one piece as it was. We're going to move on as a band with probably a somewhat new sound. I mean,
Teelan's got his own little vibe.
Teelan's got his own little vibe. We wanted to put everything that we had because we were fortunately able to record demos when Noah was still alive. So we used his demo drum tracks on the record. So we're like, let's just use, if we're going to do that way, we don't want to release anything. I mean, after the, so
right.
it just made sense to do it this way, really.
Especially since you already had it kind of in the workshop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've been in the workshop for about 3 years.
I was gonna say
until today.
Like, how long have you guys technically been the Strangers? How many years?
Wow.
Since late 2018.
I'd say, yeah.
Dang, dude. Yeah, that's a long time to jam together. And then, Teelan, I guess about...
better yet, how did you approach them or did they approach you?
So I was working at Guitar Center, and one day Jimmy Cummings, the drummer for the Bosco France band, who also is a co-worker, comes up to me and he said, "Hey man, this guy over here is looking for a drummer. I said you might be interested." And so I walked over, and it was Rylan, and he was like, "Hey man."
And you guys don't know each other from Adam at this point.
I
right?
had seen, I had actually met Noah, the previous drummer, like several times. He came in for like sticks and heads and stuff like that a couple times. I talked to him about,
drummer stuff. John Bonham.
Pants, stuff like that.
Pants, for sure.
That's pretty much the extent that of the conversation I had with any of them. And so we just kind of talked about our influences, exchanged like Snapchats or something, I think. And then a few months later, or maybe it was like 6 months later, something like that, in around May or June, I think they hit me up, and we jammed a little bit with a friend of mine on bass, and then we just kept going from there.
I was gonna say, what made you guys pull the trigger on Teelan here?
I mean, we jammed with him and it felt good.
Felt natural.
Yeah,
just kind of clicked.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard that guys in Guitar Center. I was like overhearing the guys in Guitar Center being like, "Damn, this kid's so good." And so I was like,
we had talked to another Guitar Center employee, and we were just talking to him, and eventually it got to the point where we were just like telling him our situation and everything, and he's like, "Yeah, man, if you ever need a drummer to come fill in or ever," we're like, "Well, we're actually gonna be jamming with Teelan pretty soon." And this is before we had jammed with Teelan for the first time. And he goes, "Oh, fuck, yeah, jam with him. Yeah, never mind. Don't even think about it."
So, do you guys still live in Santa Claus, or did you move closer?
I live in Evansville, and he goes to USI.
Yeah.
So he
Okay,
lives
so
in
you're all in Evansville, so that makes the jam a lot easier.
Yeah, Caden still lives in Santa Claus, so he has to make the drive a couple times a week.
Oh,
but
dude, that sucks, Caden. I'm
But you
sorry
guys are
to hear
practicing
that.
a couple times a week.
Yeah.
2 to 3.
You say so. Going back to this album, what kind of so you basically already had an idea for it before Noah passed, and so you kind of just formed that into a CD.
It was like in the making, like all these songs were written, of course, and like we've been playing them for a couple of years, and like probably a year and a half before he had passed, we were in the works of going to a studio and like recording this album there.
You recorded here in town?
In Louisville at Downtown Recordings. And then that's when COVID happened, like right then, and we had a date set up and everything. So all that got canceled. And then we just kind of wrote it out for a little bit. And eventually we had an idea to go to another studio. There's a studio called Rust Belt Studios, kind of around like Detroit. It's a cool studio that we were going to like go for this next, not this album, but like the next one with Noah. So we never really got it finished. So, and then we had to use the demos, like the demo tracks. So we were creating demos and doing things to prepare to go to a studio previously, but ever since COVID and like a bunch of other events that had happened, we decided to go with this guy Wes, Wally Opus Studios.
That's dope. You guys have a manager or something, or like did you guys all have to do your research?
That's our guy, Wes Luttrell. His record label or his partnership company is called Wally Opus.
Wally Opus.
I know him because like he was dating my cousin, and I had like heard some stuff about him. Like he went to like Full Sail, and then he moved out to LA. And then
what does that mean? Full Sail.
It's like he went to school for like audio engineering, and like production and stuff like that.
Okay, I got you.
So, and then he had a couple projects of his own, and he's dating my cousin. So I'd heard some stuff about him, like because he's like the only other guy that's currently doing music like within my family type thing. So I just hit him up and I was like, "Do you record bands?" And
question
like
mark?
just grabbing at any strings, you know. And he came to. We were actually at Evil Jam Rooms. That's where we used to practice.
Yeah,
it's over by where the pub used to be.
Okay.
And he just swung by one day, and I think he was like not expecting like us to be jamming that hard or whatever. He just
just be fucking
he didn't know
shredding.
what to expect, I guess. And I mean, not to say that we were amazing or anything, but like,
dude,
I don't think he was expecting. So
I gotta pump your brakes right there. I gotta stop you in your tracks.
Cool,
I gotta stop this story where the fuck it's at right now.
All right.
And pardon my swearing, but that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen quite a bit. You guys are just so the viewers and the listeners know, Teelan, and then come back into frame a little bit, Teelan. Sorry, there you go. Teelan, how old are you?
I am 20.
20. How old are you, Rylan? How old are you, Lucas?
I just turned 20 last week.
Dang, dude, turn up. You're all 1 year away from being
And
able to...
Caden's only 18.
Caden's 18, the baby of the group. And I can't speak for Caden, but I can. Well, I can because I tasted his bass a little bit, listening to your stuff before. You guys are well above and beyond where you should be at musically at your age. Coming from experience, I played all the way through high school and like had a couple of bands. You know, like you guys are well above anybody else that's your age and
really appreciate that.
No, I'm dead serious. I think Thomas will agree as well. You guys are leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else your age. So to just stop you in your tracks, yeah, you guys are crushing it. So you guys are pretty amazing to be 20 years old and 18-year-old putting out this kind of...
And so he was able to get you guys into like help with recording and help with the process of actually getting
he had
CDs
some equipment
printed.
And he does a lot of the logistics, like the business side of things, helps us out with that. He shows us a thing or two, and then sometimes shit just needs to get done, so he just be doing shit. So
do you guys try to reach out and book your own shows, or?
Yeah, we do a little bit.
He also books us shows. I mean, he gets a little percentage if he books us a show. Give him, and so it's like a combined effort.
Yeah, it's incentive for him to kind of help push you guys, and then also, what's that like having a manager? I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you kind of know him from the family, but none of the other guys knew him. So what is that like? You don't. I mean, what's it like not knowing this guy? I mean, what's it like having a manager?
He's pretty chill. He's not like a manager per se. He's more like a bookie.
Almost, damn, he's taking bets on like the Lakers and the Knicks. Or?
I mean, he's kind of taking bets on us. He kind of organized our entire. He kind of organized our entire album release show, and he put a lot of funding into that. And he really goes above and beyond to do pretty much anything extra. he doesn't really like have much like creative control over what we're doing right now. He just kind of is there if we need him, and he books us shows, he takes donations, he gets merch worked out, all that kind of stuff.
It's great because he really lets us have I mean, it's the way it has to be, but he trusts us with our creative
He kind of
yeah,
puts a little bit of guidelines on a little bit of chaos.
So with some of these,
as there should be.
some of these songs on love, who hurt you guys?
Yeah, who hurt?
Well, I mean, you guys don't say names. I'm just saying, like, where, like, 'cause you guys talk about some
It's
like
more about like, well, like love is a lot of things. So
yeah. I
necessarily
mean, I don't think that. I think
relationship.
that whenever people listen to some of these songs, they think it's like sort of the surface level of love. You know, like maybe
they're like some 20-year-olds don't know what love is. you
Well,
know?
no, actually, I don't know if it's even about like love with a person necessarily, or
love as a human race.
The problem with me explaining some of the lyrics is I always like to keep the lyrics pretty open to the listener.
Right,
So
open to
yeah, if it's about
interpretation.
love to you or whoever, great. You know, if it reminds you of your ex-girlfriend or something, I mean, great. I mean,
Or not, if she was a total, you know.
You
Well,
gotta
yeah.
release that. You've been keeping it in your subconscious too long.
Yeah. So
Dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
So Thomas asked who hurt you, but like, I mean, like, who came up with so I'm not asking who hurt you, but like with the theory of love, like you were just talking about, who conceptually birthed that, if you will? Whose idea was that out of the group that was like, hey man, you know, like love, like I love this tree. I saw you touch my tree earlier, by the way, dude.
He thought
Nice
it was real.
It's a fucking dope tree. Dude, $100 for that fucking
That's
thing.
a good deal.
Dude, I don't think
Never
so.
dies.
Yeah, you don't have to water it. But whose conceptual birthing was like some of the love tracks,
Or like the heartache, or
yeah, like
whatever.
yeah. I guess is that
It kind of comes. So like Lucas does a lot of the just like off the top lyric writing. You know, while we're jamming, he'll just like take a second to write some shit down. So I give some of that to him because he's like, I kind of feel like this song, like it makes me feel like this, or it reminds me maybe I should talk about this, or something like that.
What's the
like the
second to
musical
last
theme.
song on the album?
Natural Forces.
And that song's short, like lyrically short, but the vibe is there, you know?
Yeah, actually, see, what's really interesting about what you're saying is a lot of these lyrics, it's like I write them and then I make sense of it later. Like I don't even know what I'm. Natural Forces, for instance, literally one day we were sitting in my bedroom and Caden is just doing his little bass thing that's like the basis for that song.
Right.
And I'm just like, she's awaiting your last breath. Okay, that's cool. Wrote it down. And then that was it. Like what's on the track, I literally just came up with it on the spot. And then
It almost feels like a little extension-y, you know, like that.
Did you trim anything out, or was it literally just
No, exactly. Well, I knew it was going to be sort of an intro to Electric Love. So like he tied
that in a little.
Yeah,
had
I
like a
tied the word like Electric Love into the.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you had like a preconceived notion. Does
Yeah.
anybody want to water or anything?
I'll take a water. Yeah.
Water. Teelan, you good?
And there's a section in Electric Love that has like a similar lyrical part. It's like kind of like a whisper vocal, and that was not added until after Natural Forces was written, and then it was just kind of like I wanted to make a variation of Natural Forces to kind of like. So whenever you listen to Natural Forces, it's like foreshadowing what's to come.
So, Teelan, how's your drummer face?
Oh, dude, do you have drummer face?
I do have drummer
Do
face.
you? How do you combat that? Do you even try, or do you just let it ride?
It's best not to. You know how like sometimes if you strain your neck too much, you get
Yeah.
that like pain in the back of your If
Yeah,
you try
dude.
and like not do it, that happens. It's
You look
real
like one
bad.
of those 80-year-old women
just
with
threw a
a tick
football.
or something.
You know, you ever throw a football and you're like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a lot of the
hate that.
movements are the same as that, and if you're straining or really trying to control anything other than your breath, then it's just gonna.
And I think it
hurt.
comes with time. Okay, so we just had an interview just a couple weeks back, and I highly suggest you check this dude's, specifically you, check this guy out. Alex Morgan. If you're not familiar with the name, he's a photographer around town. He does a lot of bands, and so he knows bands like he's gotten to work alongside, not with, but alongside Metallica. And then that was when he met a band called Gojira. He's done shots with them.
I love Gojira.
He's done shots for him.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's
he's
amazing.
and he works here. Like he lives here. We just had him on the show. He's a super dope guy. He plays drums. So this is where you come in, Thielen. Check this dude out. He's like, just go to Google. I'll show you after the show if you don't.
Let me write it down.
But dude, he fucking wails on the skins, dude. But he said, do you remember what he said about drummer face?
Yeah, he said to pre-record yourself. Like, so like he came from a skateboarding background. So like a lot of skateboarders, you know, you master a trick and you do it, but then you realize you look like they're just flopping around, or you know, like a lot of snowboarders. When they're snowboarding, they got this like limp arm.
That
out here,
backhand is usually just like
some
dangling.
balance. It's almost like a rudder in the water or some shit, you know.
Yeah.
But I know a drummer from a band that we had on the show previously, and he's got like hella drummer face. Makes all the crazy faces while he's drumming, and I love it. I think it's dope. But Alex was like, you know, sometimes like you look a little goofy, you know, when you're in the zone making all the crazy faces. But he said just recording himself and like trying to master that.
Even so, like you acknowledge that you probably have drummer face, but
I definitely do.
it's not until you record yourself that you see, okay, maybe my eyes are looking this way because I'm worried about my tom or my hi-hat or something or whatever. But then you can you're not necessarily like muscularly combating it, but you're just like, okay, that makes you aware, like, okay, now I just need to work on where my hi-hat's at.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think
Or
that
whatever.
could be part of it. I've come to realize body movement, posture, facial expressions, anything have an effect on what you sound like and how you play. Like a lot of guys, like you see Levon Helm and like Steve Gadd, guys like that, they lean their left shoulder down like a lot. And if you play like that and you've got enough like experience and you kind of know like how the mechanics of your
How
wrists
to work around it.
and body works, it kind of allows you to step into their feel almost. And it's the same with facial expressions. I think you can kind of get into someone else's, you know, kind of feel and figure out what makes that work by mimicking not just their like posture, but like the way they feel the time, the way they breathe. Like a lot of drummers, you can tell they're breathing like in a compressed way. They'll like breathe in and then like hold it for a second and then slowly let it out. And a lot of that really goes into it. So I mean, I used to try and control my drummer face, but it's just a product now.
He mentioned breath work, and we talked about that with like BG and stuff. But I was gonna say, like, for you and Logan, right? Lucas.
Dude, why am I better at the names today than you are?
Yeah,
bro?
I don't know, bro.
Hey,
No,
Logan
it's
Walsh.
fine. Don't even.
can I call you Luke?
Yeah, that's
You look
cool.
like a cool hand Luke.
That's cool.
You know what I'm
Alright,
saying?
yeah.
Like Shooter McGee. You know what I'm saying?
But I was gonna say, like,
Like a
for you
Skywalker,
with
probably.
singing, like
Yeah.
breath control and breath work was. I mean, you've been singing since you were little. Like you said, you probably saw some
Well, actually, I haven't been
prepubescent
singing
8-year-old.
since I was young. I have originally in like around 6th grade or so, I started playing bass guitar, and it wasn't until like I don't know, like sophomore, junior high school where I started like just really getting into Guns N' Roses, and I wanted to sound like Axl Rose, so I just screamed my ass off.
Right.
And then I was like, Rylan, man, I'm like, we don't have a singer. I'll just be a singer just for now, like until we find someone. And then I was like getting pretty good at it but yeah, it took a lot of discipline to really actually start progressing, like to where I'm at today. And I still have a lot of learning to do. But as far as breath control goes, for like the first couple of years, I mean, I didn't know shit about anything, and I couldn't ever really hear myself because of the way our practice setup was set up. We had a little speaker that I was just running through, and it's not like then like our first few shows, we just had a couple like PA speakers off to the sides. I couldn't even hear what I was doing,
Right, because they're in front of you.
Yeah, so I sounded horrible, honestly. But
Hey.
and I mean, we got plenty of comments. Yeah, but it was yeah. And then I started getting into I started taking some lessons at More Music, singing lessons, and I would say that was actually probably my senior.
Was it
junior
hard?
year.
Since you said sophomore year, was it hard when you started hitting that puberty years? You know what I mean? Like, did your voice change
because
enough?
I hit puberty pretty late, I'd say. And whenever I would first started singing and stuff, it's like whenever my voice was changing, and some of the sounds I could make, I look back and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
man. What the fuck was that?
Now that you got older, that whole octave went away. You know?
yeah, a little bit. But yeah, it's been.
Do you ever do any falsetto? I don't know.
No, yeah, just recently.
Just
recently, I've been starting to like I would say,
I
try falsetto stuff and
I
like
love
building
a good-
that section in my throat.
I love a good falsetto,
So I was
gentlemen.
I was gonna
for
say,
sure.
we'll go around. When did you start playing bass? Like what age?
5th grade, so probably like 11.
And then you started singing in like sophomore
Yeah, and
year.
I kind of realized I couldn't really play and sing, and I've never been. I mean,
Two
Dude,
things at
join
once
the
is
club.
for a
hard.
while I
Join
would
the
play
club.
bass, but it's been kind of like an off and on thing for me, where it's like I'll have periods of time where I'm playing like consistently and everything. But for this past couple of years, it's been singing. It's been such such a focus that I've kind of fallen away from playing bass. But now I'm getting into guitar and getting back into,
You're gonna learn to play keys.
maybe one day. We're kind of putting that on Caden at the moment.
Oh yeah. I was gonna, what about you? When did you pick up a guitar?
I don't really remember. Actually, I do. So it's kind of weird. Some of my like the memories I can recall from like those ages when you're like 4 or 3. Like
Right.
you only have like one memory that you can remember. It's like this weird ass memory, and my parents don't remember it. But I always just remember like I would like wake up, get in my closet, and there's like this mini like guitar, and I'm pretty sure it's a ukulele.
Right, I
but,
was
like,
about to
in this
say.
memory, it's
Oh,
like
for
a
sure.
tiny guitar.
Got that uke.
And I was like run in my parents' room and wake them up, and they get pissed. But
The cutting strings.
so
at
that
night.
was like
fuck this little
Fair.
kid. It's
Like
5 a.m.
5.
waking me up with a ukulele.
yeah. So I
So
don't
you
know. I
started
didn't, like,
jamming on it?
I always had this thing for guitar or like Guitar Heroes as well. Like
Did you like
Like, I
that
was,
when
like,
you played Guitar Hero for like 3 hours and you looked away and everything was?
I never got really into Guitar Hero until like later, until it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna say, did you take any lessons though?
I did take lessons at like a younger age. I think I started lessons when I was like 6 or so.
That's really young.
Or
Yeah,
7.
yeah. That's
It's
really
like
young.
it shows on both your vocals are amazing. Just being 20 years old and being able to sing the way you do, and for you guys to write lyrics. And,
I really do appreciate that, because it's been for a long time. It's been like I've been very like self-conscious. I'm like, fuck, I listen back to the video. I'm like, oh.
Nah, dude.
And then I realized,
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
like that. It's good. Like, for real.
yeah,
You
I
guys
appreciate that
at
a lot.
20 years
yeah.
old, I'm serious. The only reason that I'm just blowing you guys up with compliments is because I'm just referring back to like my years in high school, and when like I thought I could sing and play, and like I had a small band for a little bit with my.
You guys are better off than where I was at 20. I had like a fake ID in my own apartment, and I was just pushing that limit.
Dude, he had an actual bookie. Times were hard. You know what I'm saying,
bro.
bro?
Damn.
No, I'm just joking. I don't know. Did you have a bookie? Either way. He's but yeah, I just look
No
at back
comment.
how experienced I was, and like I was all self-taught. I never took lessons on singing or guitar playing, so I learned
And it
everything.
shows.
Exactly, and it shows for sure. But the fact that I think that's the leg up you had is that like you were just delved in this music very, very early. And Teelan, what about you?
Yeah.
When did you get on the skins? Like, did you take classes or?
So I've been playing percussion, drums, music, instruments, stuff like that since
Trash
I was,
cans, just like
well, I actually started like playing a little bit of drums whenever I was like 1.5, 2.
Okay.
Like I always had a little toy drum when I was
Some
a
Tupperware
kid,
and a spoon.
and then I
There
would
you go.
always play, and I had like hand drums, and I eventually got an electric drum set when I was in grade school, but I never got serious about that until like maybe like 6th grade. And then I was always in band in school, so elementary school, I think the last 3 years I was playing percussion in band.
Do you have a cajon?
I do not have a cajon. I sell too many of those to want one. Cool instrument, but do not have the space.
dude. And I have to compliment you, Teelan, real quick while we're talking to you. The Zep, dude, the fucking
thank you.
lead T. I got a Zoso tattoo on my tit, dude. Straight
Nah,
up,
for
yeah.
real.
Straight up, dude. I'm a Jimmy
that's
Page
awesome.
fan through and
Is
through.
the O around the areola?
No, it's all top tit, top tit.
Nice.
And honestly, just real quick, because everybody gives Led Zeppelin so much fucking grief, I'm hoping that you have my back on this. If you think that they're just a fucking really famous cover band, suck my dick. Literally, John Bonham might be the greatest drummer of all time.
Might be.
Hashtag Moby Dick. And then also, Jimmy Page is without a doubt, the best guitar player. I mean, you couldn't even argue him outside of the top 3. There's just no fucking way. There's
Who are
just
the other
no
two?
fucking way.
I
saying
think
he's
Jimmy
number one.
Page would beg to differ.
Yeah, he'd be like, no.
No, man.
Yeah, his number one is Django Reinhardt, I believe. Which
Really?
Yeah, I think he was on like Howard Stern, and he said that or something, or maybe he was talking with Les Paul. But they were all just talking about Django. Which, if you haven't checked Django out,
I need to check Django out.
You should. It's
Okay.
like it's like manouche, like gypsy jazz from like the 40s and 50s.
I don't trust gypsies, but I like their music.
I like gypsies.
But he was like a giant man. He was like 6'4" or something, and his like these.
He was 6'4".
Yeah, and these two fingers got like completely paralyzed after an accident. So he was using these three fingers on his left hand for a majority of his professional career, and he's still like the most influential.
That's like that dude from
guitarist
Def
for
Leppard, bro.
people.
Yeah.
That's fucking one arm Willie, dude. Fucking dude would just beat the shit out of those. You ever see him play drums?
He has a lot more foot
I
pedals.
don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like pulleys and chains. So anyways, on that conversation, just real quick, and then I'll let Thomas have the wheel one more time. For all three of you, who's your number one in what you do?
Who do you draw inspiration from the most in what you do?
No. This is a ranking system. You can ask that later. Who's your number one? Who's the best drummer ever from the start of time, considering even music today? Who's the best drummer in your eyes? Go. And you can't say John Bonham because you're wearing the T-shirt.
Either Steve Gadd or Steve Jordan. The two Steves are like right at the top.
Okay, I'm a big Steve Jobs fan, if that means anything. So I'm just joking. What about you? Who's the best guitar player? Number one.
Well, for me right now, it's probably Jimmy Page or Hendrix. Either one of the two.
See what I'm saying, dude? See what I'm saying?
I'm sure there's guys who came before them that I'm not aware of yet.
Yeah.
That I may put above. But like, I like to look at who I like and then look at their influences. Because like, how did they get that? You know.
And what about for you?
This
Who's
is
your
a
number
difficult
one?
question because for a while I was like, man, I love everything Axl
Dave
Rose
Mustaine.
does. At the moment, though, I mean, like I kind of like pushed away from Guns N' Roses. Robert Plant is obviously one of the best singers ever. I love Steve Perry of Journey, but I don't really like take very much influence from him. I just don't have that kind of voice. But I just am super impressed with everything that he did. So I don't know. Robert Plant is probably.
You're going Robert Plant?
Yeah.
So I'm such a huge Led Zeppelin fan. Like, Robert Plant might have been my least favorite individual of the band. And people are
I can
blown
see
away
that.
when I say that. But, like, John, and Jimmy, without them boys, you got fucking nothing.
Can't go wrong with 3 J's.
You got fucking... Literally, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know...
Yeah.
Pop quiz. Actually, any three of you can answer. Do you know what Led Zeppelin was called before they were called Led Zeppelin?
What, the New Yardbirds?
Damn, he's good. All right, Thomas, your question.
I was gonna say, so you guys get this all done and everything. What makes you decide to release it? Like when you release it, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Well, basically, it wasn't really like a decision to release it on a certain day or something like that. I mean,
'Cause
it
this
kind of
just
was.
came out.
It was like kind of kept getting pushed back and pushed back for
When
a
was
long
it?
time.
March 3rd?
March 1st.
First, yeah,
March
March
1st
1st.
came out.
And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, it was kind of like it was a little bit planned by Wes, kind of, because he's like, well, we got to do this and get this stuff done before we can release it. And like we had target dates that we just went over and
Kept pushing back
Yeah.
and pushing back.
I was gonna
and pushing
say
back.
for the podcast, it's a little different, but I've always been interested in how bands get on Spotify or Apple Music, because like we have a platform that hosts our feed, and then from our feed we distribute it to our, what are they called, directories or some shit.
Yeah,
But I was gonna say, like,
directors.
is it different for a band, or
We
like, how's
use
that work?
DistroKid, which puts our stuff on every platform that there is. I mean,
Do you have to pay for that? Is
yeah,
it
there's like
yeah.
there's a
like a $20
Like an
fee?
membership
annually or
or
something.
subscription.
yeah, but I mean, it's like easily worth it.
And congrats on 450 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah, I got up to 530 or something like last week, but it's been kind of on the decline. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
high
yeah.
of the.
Ah, dude, it's a lot like mushrooms, man. You have your highs, your lows, your mids. You just
yeah,
find your
I mean,
way.
not
dude.
too worried about it. Try, you just don't get caught up in the numbers. I'd say, like, I mean, if somebody random found us, let's say, I mean, at some random place, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
They would look at our stream counts and think, oh, this band's small.
Yeah,
Yet
yeah.
we almost just sold out the Astra Theater in Jasper at our album release show, and that venue almost holds 400 people.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, we've sold so many CDs, and we're on every platform. So we have a very loyal local following right now, which is great.
I have a good question, and local following is a big deal, but this is like my lack of the production side of everything is where this question is derived from. So, how does used to back in the day a band made it when they got signed to a label? Used to, Leonard Skinner went and recorded an album for that place in, is it Louisiana? I can't remember.
Muscle Shoals.
Muscle Shoals. They made it. You know what I'm saying? You get signed to a label, you've made it. So like the talent that you guys possess, like honestly, like I'm astounded at your age and the amount of talent that you have. I can't reiterate that enough. But that being said, what does making it look like to you now that labels aren't really a thing anymore? Like, they are still, but the freedom has been put in the artist's hands at this point for the most part. And then now you have services like Spotify and Pandora and people don't hear your stuff unless you like cut an album and put it out. I guess like what does making it look like? Is it?
I think it's just like being able to do what you love for a living is like if you can make enough to pay for your shit.
Ticket sales, basically.
Yeah.
Tickets and merch.
Yeah.
You don't sell anything off of streams.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna buy your album on
Right.
Spotify. Or
That's the
iTunes
problem
or
now.
whatever.
Is that like you used to get judged on like Skinner
downloads.
Yeah, Skinner puts out a fucking shredder, dude, and then they sell fucking 6 million albums. You know what I mean? Like, bam, that's a paycheck, and they've made it.
Yeah.
You guys put out a banger of an album and you're getting a shitload of downloads. But where's how do you make it? You know what I mean?
Well, it's tough because corporate America really doesn't want anybody to make it. So, that's what
Especially in
Spotify
the
is.
music
They say,
industry, yeah.
well, you should put out more music. Well, you should shut the fuck up and stop being a rich bitch.
Yeah, put out what is it like? Put out something new every couple months.
Yeah, it's like nobody.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's impossible.
nothing refined.
It's called the Gucci Man plan. Seriously, no. Hear me out. Gucci wrote a book, and he's like, I may not be the greatest rapper of all times, but I drop like 8 albums a year, and that makes me enough money that I'm good.
Yeah. For those guys, it works because it's like.
I feel like with rap, it's also
produced.
different though too.
Yeah, because we were talking about with
Completely
rappers, it's
different.
better
You
to
come
drop
up-
singles versus albums.
And they can
or-
drop
You have a good
20
producer.
song albums as well, which is a different story.
Right. You have a good producer. He makes they're talented enough they can make a beat on the spot, and a lot of rappers can just freestyle. All you have to do is, there you have a song one night. In a band setting, these take a long time to really like perfect and yeah.
The amount of effort and art that goes into I'm staring off into the distance because I just can't fathom how you could put out a fucking banger of a rock song with bass and skins and lead and a rhythm and a singer and another singer and another singer. You can't put all these, and they all take so much art and effort, and there's a craft, and it's not just like boop, beep, bop, boop, there's your beat. Hey, mic's on, ready when you are, play. You know what I mean? It's not the same. I
It's
just
a
don't
little
know
bit
how
about
they
details and deciding like I don't know, recording live instruments versus having programmed instruments is a different story. There's a lot that goes into it. So
You guys
it's
think
rough,
you'll ever
man.
record an acoustic album?
Do you guys do
Potentially.
acoustic?
Definitely.
Yeah, we do acoustic stuff.
You do?
Yeah.
What about a live choir? You think you'll ever have a live
Ooh,
choir?
I
in the
love
I
background?
hope so.
There's
I
a
love
couple
it.
songs that we've had kind of in the works, and I'm just like, my dream for that is like there's like some really good background, like
I
you
wonder
know.
if,
Oh yeah, some
stuff
Southern
like that.
gospel
Yeah,
or something in the
exactly.
background.
We oughta-
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
we ought to connect him with Nick from Forthright because he's got that choir like group.
Yeah, he does. He's got him on the hook.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that'd be great.
a really famous band that I envy a lot. Well, I used to. They kind of sold out recently, but in a good way. 1,000 Horses. Are you familiar? Is anybody familiar with 1,000 Horses?
No.
They're kind of more of a country band, but they're like Southern rocky country, not like mainstream. But anyway, so they've had the same same choir come sing on all their albums throughout their entire. And I mean, we can look them up, but they've got a shitload of albums and a shitload of plays and downloads, and they're pretty famous in like the country community. But it's more of a southern rock vibe. But yeah, they've had the same choir with them throughout the whole bit. So if you find a good one, keep them with you.
So this album's come out.
Keep them employed.
You guys have clearly been working on new stuff since, because I assume this was basically wrapped up in 2020 because the start of COVID. You kind of
yeah, around there. I mean, all the music was finished.
Teelan, you came in 2021
ish, yeah.
So you guys have had a year-ish together as a whole group.
Somewhere around there, probably 8 months.
Well, yeah,
9 months.
Yeah.
So what's coming in the future? Especially,
Well, we got about 8 or 9 more songs, mostly written. They're pretty much all the way there instrumentally. There's still like, some stuff we're gonna have to do, but we're pretty open about like the process. We'll play like unfinished songs live, and it turns out all right. It's just kind of part of the way we
need to
are
get Jack
doing
Daniels in the studio so we can hook them up with Jack.
Dude, they
Jack
would
Daniels?
love Jack.
Jack Daniels, he's recorded man, it's what is it? They're a Brighter End.
Yeah, Brighter End.
A Brighter End and Forthright are 2 little local bands here in town. Not necessarily little.
And Nick from Forthright, good God, that guy's got some pipes on him, dude.
Yeah.
He sang for us in the studio and just like, what did he do?
He did his whole warm-up routine because you asked him what that looked like. And
he did a Styx song. Why am I?
he
I got
sings
that
it every time to
Alzheimer's.
warm up.
Mr.
Is what he was
Roboto.
saying.
I
But,
wasn't. What was it? I can't. It's gonna bother me if I can't
remember.
remember.
Come Sail Away?
No. It was
Lady?
Grand Illusion. Sorry, Grand Illusion. And he just like took the chorus and like made it his bitch right here in this room. And like
That's
this room,
an interesting warm up. I feel like you kind of have to.
He has
for me at least, I have to work up to something like
and he
that,
does.
you
He
know?
does. He said his warm up is "I'm not the one who's so
Yeah.
far away." So he does that kind of to get warmed up,
Yeah.
and then he goes to Grand Illusion, sings like the second verse, and then rolls into the boom chorus, and that chorus is fucking rowdy.
That's something I've been trying to figure out, my warm up routine. It's like I for a while I had like a thing that I would try to do over and over.
Yeah.
But then I realized I was like, I don't know, it was fine, but like it just, now I kind of just it's different every time. Yeah, it depends on what I'm feeling in the moment. But I want to be able to have one where it's like I know where it's going to put me every time.
set
Yeah,
in stone. Like this
exactly.
is what I do before every single show. And Rylan, you do a little bit of the singing, right? Or no?
Oh, just like background stuff, but hardly like live. I don't really bother.
You don't bother?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say,
What
what is
I'm really having fun, you know? Or
Yeah.
just really feeling it. I just want to
Caden does a little bit background vocals live.
do they do some kind of? Do you do some kind of a warm up, or I mean, you don't do a lot live, but does Caden do any kind
I
of
don't
warm
think
up?
so. No.
No.
I mean, I recently
He has been
got
recently doing a little bit of.
Oh, really? I mean, I
some-
wasn't there
some stuff.
whenever this last
He
show.
what?
He's recently doing a little bit of something. You
Oh,
know, I heard
was he?
making some noise in the other room.
Oh damn!
I would
he
have
was
liked to have
warming
heard
up?
that, to be honest.
You just like hear him in the other
I
room.
thought
like,
he was warming
Mickey
up.
Mouse
He was like,
might mow Mary's backyard. It's like, what are you, fucking Caden? What are you doing in there, dude?
So
Leave
how
me
much
alone.
how much influence do you think you've had on this? Are you guys gonna make an album or?
Yeah, I mean, I think a live EP is definitely probably what we're looking at next. We recorded the entire album release show. Don't know how any of that's gonna come out. We may get some like we got some video from it for sure, but we don't know about recordings. And depending on how that pans out, we might go over to Wally Opus and do a kind of live EP situation there, or we might just
like an
you know,
Airbnb type thing.
Is
Just
that-
like a house?
Is that OPUS?
Yeah,
Opus?
Opus.
Yes.
Is that the same as Opus One?
Yeah, it's
Kinda,
the same
yeah.
word.
No, I mean, but is that like, are
Same
they
word.
No.
no correlation there?
No.
Okay. Because Opus One is a music place, isn't it?
It
Nah,
was.
name
Yeah.
it.
It
More
was.
Music is where Opus One.
That's what
used
it
to
is.
be.
Okay,
They
sorry.
built
Not to
the
I was
derail.
gonna say when you guys are doing this, like, because you didn't have any input in the last
Yeah,
album.
no.
So what was it like with this one?
I mean, most of the songs have been written out of me and Rylan and Lucas just jamming in the basement like 2 to 3 times a week. Caden's there
And
a lot
that
of
basement
the time,
is fucking sick too.
it's been a lot of
It
work.
is sick.
But it's
It is,
it's a
dude.
nice room.
Well, that's another thing I was gonna touch on too is with these lyrics, or even any of you can answer this too, because it doesn't just go to lyrics, but like if you think you hear a riff in your head or whatever, like. How do you pre-record that? Like, if you get a lyric that pops in your head, or you get
got, like,
or even do you
Voice
guys?
memos.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, do you voice memo? And
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
grab my phone, hurry up and get to my.
or do you you're like doom 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 tss, doom doom?
I mean, most of what I do is usually based off of what Rylan plays, but we do a lot of video recording during rehearsals. We record a lot of jams, and like even if you look at our TikTok, there's a lot of our earlier videos are just us two like jamming out and trying
Like
to
working
work
out
on-
some of those songs.
Yeah, and that's a couple of those videos are actually what we use to base like the final or close to final.
Yeah, if you
product
capture
off
a
it.
good one, like you're like, oh, I really like that, or you listen to something a few times, it'll grow on you.
Yeah.
So we kind of do that. Like that's something good about like being able to take videos. Like we actually, we never before Teelan came along, we didn't do any of this. Like we didn't mic our shit up. We didn't have a mixer.
We set an iPhone up in a corner.
Yeah, we didn't do anything.
Well, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it?
It's so
just-
much.
It's
It's a lot easier to just
Yeah.
get the ball moving.
No, yeah,
on,
for
on
sure.
some of that stuff whenever
Yeah.
you got a little bit of your shit figured out.
Damn, dude. That's
So you guys got like a jam session routine, or like you guys all set up your camera
It's all
and
just
mic?
kind of just spontaneous. So sometimes we're like, yeah, let's take a video, but most of the time we just jam.
You guys gonna drop a music video off this album?
Potentially.
Potentially.
I'm not sure how that would work out. Like if it was going to be a video of us.
We have a couple potential opportunities where we might do something.
I think we got a
It's-
Scooby Doo edit coming soon.
Yeah.
oh, dope, dude. I'm a big Scooby Doo guy.
Yeah, one of our
Just what we said,
friends,
talk
like,
video.
he really like he's listening to Shadow, and he's like, dude, they should be in Scooby Doo. He's like,
The
it
intro
reminds me of
song.
that one
The intro
intro song. And at first I was like, what in the hell
I was
are
like,
you talking
bro,
about?
are you
man?
really gonna do
I was
me
like,
like
just
that?
shut up, just shut up.
Dude, all you need is a
But it sounded
70s
good.
a 70s Chevy van, right? Hear
Yeah.
me out. 70s
I
Chevy
love
van.
that, yeah.
Get you a brown Great Dane, you know what I'm saying? Throw a
Yeah.
collar on him. You might get bit, but it'll be worth it, dude. Some greenhouse paint, you're
No, if we toured in the mystery
lickety
van,
split, dude. Lickety split, you're
Yeah.
done, dude.
No, I actually have a lot of Scooby snacks at home, so
Yeah.
we'll be good for the
Dang,
trip.
dude.
Yeah.
We're set, bro. But yeah, that basement though. Back to that though. There's some shots on your
Instagram.
Is that on IG? I'll go ahead and pull it up. But yeah, the basement. Whose basement is that?
It's Ryland's.
How did it come to fruition? You know, because it's like I'm gonna look it up again just so we can see
The
it.
house is about 100 years old or more, maybe.
But it's like really well put together though. Like
It used to be
like-
completely
Yeah.
bare.
We
It was
got
just a
some
concrete
rugs.
room.
Put the rugs down.
Where am I going here? We were just. looking
That
at-
Electric Love video has a little. It kind of shows
Which
around a
one?
little
What am
bit.
I looking at? Which one?
In the middle,
This.
up
Up
one.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy. Yeah. Here we go. I don't know if we'll. Yeah, we should be able
It
to hear
shows
it.
it around a little bit.
Oh no, we can't hear it because I got to enable the audio.
Yeah, we
Oh,
got-
is that Caden in the flesh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Caden. Dang, dude. This is just fucking sick. Like, I mean,
And the stage lights.
yeah, dude, it's dope. Like, it puts out. And if you're not watching on YouTube and you're just if you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening, we're watching a clip on their IG, which by the way is the.strangers, and the E after the G is a 3. The.strangers, E is a 3 in strangers. Yeah, dude, that's rad. Like, that's really well put together. Like, I could go down there and just like load up a bowl and like pass out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're playing
Yeah.
that, I'm done.
Well, not for long. It gets pretty loud down there. Yeah.
That's fucking cool though, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's kind of, we need to go for that kind of vibe in here. I feel like, you know what I mean? Just kind of like,
something.
Get you some
crazy.
tapestries and stuff.
I know,
turn the lights
dude.
out.
I know. I got like this whole empty like section that just needs. Yeah, dude.
Black
I
light
know.
posters.
Yeah, dude, for sure. A Led Zeppelin poster, just Jimmy Page like flipping off the camera.
Mm.
But yeah, that's pretty gnarly. So you guys are practicing there predominantly 3 times a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over at your pad, man. Dang,
Yes.
that sucks that Caden's got to make that trip, though.
It does. We made the trip for a long time. So.
Really?
Well, and he was making it with us.
My
so.
question for you two, actually, I've got a good one. That since bringing on Thielen, post your old drummer and God rest his soul. That's I can't even imagine. But bringing Thielen in, what do you think, if anything, has changed about the vibe of maybe not even the sound, maybe just the functionality of the band? How you guys like we were talking about earlier, like, oh, well, we never used to do this until.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, what else has changed? With Thielen coming in, has anything changed?
There's a little. Okay, so there's a little bit more of there's a little bit more increase in a level of seriousness, or just like in the rate of productivity, which we would just play the whole time last time, or like we would just play the whole time, usually back in the jam room, just jam out, do whatever, and it's still pretty relaxed and stuff like that, but it's more attention to detail, not necessarily just because of Thielen, but like just because of who we all are and progressing, as just paying attention to details.
What do you think,
getting
Luke?
stuff right.
You think anything's changed bringing Thielen on versus
A lot.
a lot?
It's like total. In my opinion, it's completely different. But I mean, the thing is with Thielen coming along is whenever Thielen started practicing with us, we started using headphone practices, so I could actually hear myself sing. And that for
Game
me
changer.
has been a complete game changer. It's insane. I don't have to throw out my voice every practice. I used to be done. I would literally walk away like
overworking.
I'd be like every show.
You're like, dude, do you have polio? No,
like I would try to talk between songs.
We had band practice. I'm good.
Yeah, but yeah, it's I like Rylan said, it's way more efficient, I would say now, and the change in location too. This where we are. Every time you're in a new place practicing, I mean, you're inspired differently.
Oh,
and, so we had never practiced in Ryland this current location with Noah. So whenever Thielen came in, this has been the spot. I mean,
It's almost like a new start.
yeah, it's like a new start in so many different ways. So yeah, and I would say that Thielen has a lot more influence on it as far as how the new songs are structured.
Like
than
practice
Noah
with a purpose.
had with this record. But I mean, Noah had a very prominent role. It's just that Thielen he can play guitar very well, bass very well, and things. So, like, as far as the influence on other instruments,
I do have to say though, in Dead and Dazed, song 3 on your guys' album, self-titled, Dead and Dazed, about 3 minutes in. I don't know if I said this on air or not. Were we on air? Were we recording? That roll, that little lick that he put together. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it in the guitar
I don't
solo?
exactly know.
No. He's got
It's like a breakdown
He's got a
before
guitar,
chorus.
or not a guitar. Pardon me. He's got a drum. He's got like a drum roll that he like kind of just. It's a solo, but it's only like 30 seconds long. But God,
I don't know if I know what you're
You
talking
may be
about.
thinking of Electric Love.
No, I'm thinking
He's
about.
thinking of this one.
I'm thinking of this one. Here, can I play it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Do I have your permission?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
We're gonna claim you so hard.
I'm gonna copyright claim the shit out of you.
We already got one
Yeah, we did, dude.
on an episode that
episode
didn't even play anything.
43 or so. It's right around here.
It's got to
Hold
be
on.
a shirt somebody was wearing or something.
I think I know what he's talking about.
We might have already passed it. Oh, there's the guitar solo. I think we passed it already. Where is it?
You might have cut the tail end of it whenever you first started.
It's a sick solo. Yeah, we passed it.
I think it's coming up right here. Maybe. That?
He's got like a whole solo.
Electric Love, there's a solo where there's literally nothing else playing.
I know it's
It's gonna bother me if I can't find it. Damn. Yeah, that's the one. Right here. Come on, don't make me a liar. All right, it wasn't really a solo. It's kind of a solo. It was a fill. I don't know the terminology.
I think it's super interesting that you that was memorable enough.
Oh yeah,
for you to
the
point out.
and just the way he leads into it with the triples, like he's very, very. And again, you know, I can't even imagine what that's like having him stripped away.
That's what I was gonna.
he's an animal.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is like we normally try to ask it towards the end of the show, but I still got a few more questions before this.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was gonna say, we always try to ask whoever we have in the studio, like, what was the darkest moment on this trip of your project, which is the band as a whole.
Mhm.
But do you guys think that like the hardest part, like the part that made you guys want to throw in the towel and call it quits, was when you guys lost Noah as a band, like as a band member? Or
Well,
like,
yeah,
or
that
was there ever
obviously
a point?
that was obviously the roughest point.
Did you guys think about like quitting the band? You know what I mean? Like,
we just didn't really know what was going to happen. I mean, I was like, well, how are we even going to do the album now? Are we going to have to re-record drums? Like, we're going to have Thielen come in and do drums? And then we're like, well, it's not even going to be the same. It's not going to be the same song. It's not the same band. So...
Because I was gonna say, Thielen said that you guys didn't talk for maybe 3 to 6 months, so I didn't know like as a band, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I lost Brian, the Days Grimm wouldn't continue. You know what I mean? The show wouldn't be the same. But I was gonna say,
Thank you.
well, yeah, I mean,
It's the nicest
it'd
thing
just
you've
be
ever
called
said to me.
Grimm. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But I was gonna say, like, what pushed you guys through that? You know what I mean? Because I mean, there's a grieving period, and like,
I think we wanted to make sure. I mean, we wanted for sure to have his legacy continue through the music, and the music hadn't been released yet.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
But whenever we were working on the album, we're like, we had kind of known Thielen. Let's just jam out and see what happens.
Right.
Let's just jam. Like, it doesn't have to mean anything. And like that, like Caden couldn't make it the first time we jammed with Thielen. He couldn't make it that day. He was doing something. I don't know. So he brought his other bass player over. I mean, that wasn't, we did not sit there and think this is going to be the New Strangers or anything. Me and Ron are just going to jam with some guys.
right?
And,
I see what you did. You gave me a look around, and you're like, the New Strangers?
the new Yardbirds.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, no,
Call
but
back.
so it's all just like one time whenever we were going to the studio, I remember when we were going to visit the Louisville studio that we were going to potentially record at.
Mm-hmm.
Wes had said to me, Noah was actually going to originally study abroad in like France or something. And at the time we were like, what are we going to do? Like when you go study abroad, Yeah. And Wes just looks at me and he goes, let's just cross the bridge when we get there. And I have taken that line. Like I know it's a saying that's said like
All the time?
yeah, but I have kept that in my cross the bridge when you get there. It's like, keep working at what you're working at and just see what happens. A lot of times.
I don't think that pans out well for people that aren't quick on their feet. You guys obviously seem to be pretty quick on your feet, don't you think, Thomas?
Yeah.
I think so.
With the help of a lot of people, though.
Yeah, no,
For sure.
absolutely, absolutely. But you
Yeah.
can respond quickly because of people like Wes.
Yeah.
So if something were to happen, you're like, all right, and shift over here.
You gotta
So
do.
that's a good mantra to have if you're quick on your feet. If you're a little slow on your feet, like myself, if you prefer walking as opposed to running, maybe plan in advance. Just for the listeners, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's and that's awesome that you let his legacy live on. Do you feel like you missed out on the New Stranger's name though? Now looking back at the
on the calling it the New Strangers.
yeah,
No.
do you look back and I'm kind of wishing you guys would.
Is that gonna be like the intro? That should be like the
It's just
intro
the new-
title
it's
of
just
your
the
next album.
It's just the next album.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Nah,
Dude,
we'll
if
have
you-
to come up with something a little more
If you do, you have to fucking
Indulging
let me
in it.
know.
Yeah,
You have
you
to
gotta
like
name a song.
let me sign the back of a
Yeah, maybe
CD
we'll
or
just name
something.
the song or something.
Yeah, we'll give you credit.
But
you, I
I was gonna say.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Come on, dude. All right,
Credit
3%.
does not
That's
mean,
all I need.
Credit does
3%.
not mean money.
I was gonna
Verbal
say.
credit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you guys want to go around and give a piece of advice to somebody that's like wanting to get started in singing, guitaring, and drumming, like what
Yeah.
advice would you give the person in
100%.
those fields?
So in the beginning, I'd always thought like I wanted to be have that like I wanted to be self-taught, and I was like I wouldn't say scared, but so hesitant of going to get lessons or I just like I don't know. And what I realized is that's so fucking stupid. Like it's like not training yourself vocally is like if a professional basketball player didn't still practice frequently. I mean, so don't be scared of also something that I really have to say is for if any band is just starting and their singer doesn't kind of sounds like shit a little bit, chill out a little bit. Chill out. I mean, as long as your singer is hardworking and chill out. You're gonna sound horrible. Your first few live performances aren't gonna be good. I mean, just get some better equipment and just hearing yourself helps so much. Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah, I just need a new amp.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. So take lessons. Don't be afraid of something.
Yeah, don't be afraid to take lessons. And
Don't be afraid to quit lessons either.
Yeah, that's the same thing too. Because if your
don't be
teacher, like for me, I sing with a lot of like rasp and like growl and stuff. My first teacher, she was she sang like classical kind of stuff.
She's like an opera singer
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Like
And
nowhere
it's just-
near what you're trying to do.
I would ask her questions and she's like, "Well, that's like something I haven't really learned myself yet." I'm like, "Well, then why am I here?" I got out of there and I found like other ways of improving myself. So
improvise and don't be afraid to be new at something.
if your I mean, this is like it's like find a source that you're comfortable with and is working, and if it's not working, find something else. I mean, and take criticism for sure. Constructive criticism. Like listen to what people have to say and improve yourself. And like I said, like my first few shows, everyone's like, all I was doing is screaming my ass off and not even knowing what was coming out of because I couldn't hear myself.
Yeah.
And I wasn't at all experienced in singing or whatever, other than my back room or whatever. And I have had plenty of comments. It's fine. Don't let that discourage you. Just like keep going, and eventually you'll get to a place, hopefully, where you can start becoming yourself and your voice. And whenever people hear like a genuine sound, because it's, I mean, they're gonna like it. I mean, and the thing is with like rock music, I mean, even if I'm singing it perfectly the exact way I want to, whatever, there's still gonna be somebody who doesn't like my voice. There's somebody who just hates Robert Plant.
Do you
know what
run
I'm
your
saying?
Right.
Do you run your vocals through like Melodyne or anything like that?
No.
I don't know what that is.
Melodyne is like something like Rihanna or like your other singers sing, and it's like if you're off key, like say you wanted in like an A key, but like you just couldn't hit A that day, you can adjust your.
like it transposes. the
Yeah.
key
Oh yeah, like
that
pitch
you're
correction
singing
sort of
in.
things.
Oh.
Not really. I mean, there's like been like a moment where it's like the whole vocal performance was good. I was barely flat right there. Yeah, we'll just notch it up a couple because it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
If you sit there and keep doing it all night, you'll just
Yeah.
run out of.
exactly.
Steam.
I mean, that's just the way it's. I
You
don't
got to
see
get it
any
in like the
problem
first
in
few
doing it that way
for
either.
singing, really.
Like it's like I'm capable of doing it, but it's like once again, if the performance and the energy and everything's there, and all you have to do is just notch it one up. You know,
it's really
like,
not the same. Rylan brings up a good point. It's actually not the same as like playing guitar. Like, oh, you need me to play this 45-second riff or this minute and a half riff oh, you need me to play this solo for 30 more times? Okay, let's go. And like, you don't care what you look like. You don't care what your chest is doing. You don't care what's happening. Like, you could be sitting in a fucking chair and you're just like, it takes so, like, once you're like, I feel like once you're really, really proficient or efficient at guitar, or drums even, it's just like so easy.
if you know what you want, then maybe
Yeah.
you'll be able to get it.
What advice?
I wouldn't
do you
say
have
I'm
for
that
guitars?
good, but I don't know. Like, just do whatever you want. That's my advice. for all time. Just
Okay,
do
well,
whatever
then
the
I was gonna
fuck
say,
you
like,
want.
Anarchy.
Well, I was gonna say during like
It's your fucking life, man.
during a solo bit, do you adjust the solos every now and then? Like if you're
I don't
feeling
know.
something
Like
different,
I just kind of I just go off the cuff most of the time.
there's like I got 45
there's some
seconds
sort
to
of
jam.
structure on some stuff, slight structures.
There's a few cue sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like when is this stopping? So I don't know. Like for me, I didn't. And this is probably one of my flaws, honestly, but who cares? I was like, I don't really like learning songs that much. Like, there's not that many. Well, I would say as a child, I didn't like learning songs. You know what I mean? It's easier now to be able to listen to it and just kind of pick it up.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like that, and I always would just like make my own shit, or I would always get way too distracted. I would learn the first riff of a song, or like just this one part, or learn the first couple phrases of a solo, and then just like start going off on whatever I want to do, and just making my own stuff, because I can't stay focused on that kind of stuff for that long.
So you're staying fast on that.
I think
do what
it's
you want.
sort of benefited me a little bit, but also it has its downfalls. You know.
No, for sure.
So that's
Okay.
your advice for the drummers.
What do you got for him, dude?
Nothing is ever a competition, and if it is, you're doing it wrong.
Damn,
So-
dude. Are you John Lennon right now?
I like that. I like that one.
I mean,
He
I
is
grew
right
up
now.
and I went through a lot of like marching band, indoor percussion, all of that stuff, jazz band, concert band. I played with the orchestra. I played with the choir, and most of those things all went to competition. It was so competitive, and most of the worst musicians I've ever met, I met through a competition circuit, and that's not on them. It's like it's a school function. Nobody's there 100% of it, but most of the time, if it's a competition, nobody's in it for the right reasons. If you're playing music, it's an art. It's not a,
Mathematical
it's not a
breakdown to the millisecond.
yeah, I mean, and that can be cool. That can be your art. But if that is, don't worry about comparing it to like, animals as leaders. If you're one of those like mathy guys, like figure
Yeah,
it out.
dude.
Do your own thing. Find whatever your sound needs to be.
What do you guys jam to, like when you're just on average? What do you think you listen to? And we can go through all three of you guys. What do you listen to the most? Like you get in your car, you know what I'm saying, and you're going to get a damn snack or something. You know what I'm saying? You're stopping by the marathon and just going and getting a. Yeah. What's the first thing that you're like, all right, and go Spotify, play? What's your jam when you're just kind of like out and about? What do you listen to the most?
Well,
And you can just go with a band name.
I mean, I listen to a lot of stuff, I listen to a lot of like Fairport Convention, Pentangle, like
Okay.
early like British like folk rock, but I also listen to a lot of
Which
jazz.
It's funny that you bring up that because Brian was like listening to stuff and he's like, I dig it. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's like the early like 70s British band. And he was like, are you sure they're not from Europe? I was like, they
dude,
could be.
We're about to have 3 redcoats walking up in here, dude. About to have some revolutionary soldiers up in here.
What about you, Ron?
I've been grinding a lot of Sabbath lately.
Fuck yeah.
yeah,
Big Sabbath. It's big Sabbath season.
I second that.
Bert Jansch. I just recently discovered him.
Bert Jansch, who's that?
Guitarist of Pentangle.
Yeah. Jimmy Page likes him a lot.
Okay. That's all that matters to me.
A lot of that that like folky acoustic stuff that Zeppelin does is even derived almost directly
Black
from
Mountain
that.
Side off of Led Zeppelin 1 is a direct rip of Black Water Side by Bert Jansch or Jansch.
Jansch. I'm American.
There's like 3
Indiana guy.
different
Jansch.
pronunciations.
Yanch.
Yanny
Potato,
Wall.
tomato. That's what I say.
Megadeth.
Fuck yeah. Dude, the great thing about like getting to know who I am is that like I have such a wide span of like music appreciation. I'm behind Megadeth 100%.
I mean, yeah, I'm the same way. Like, on the way here, all I was listening to is 9 Inch Nails, and
Did you ever hear Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt?
yeah,
Fucking crushed it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. That's the one everybody knows. They're like, "Do you know 9 Inch Nails?" I'm like, "Do you
Yeah.
guys know 9 Inch Nails?" They're like, "No."
Dude,
I'm like, "Do you know the song Hurt?" Oh yeah, the Johnny Cash song.
what do you say, Teelan? What do you say? I'm assuming you're a big Led Zeppelin guy. what do you say? Obviously, I mean, all three of you guys have referenced Led Zeppelin at some point tonight, and they're one of the most iconic rock bands of all time, at least, actually, just of all time, internationally. What do you say to folks that do say, like, oh, yeah, they're the greatest cover band of all time?
I mean, they are. What's wrong with that?
Do you agree with that?
I mean, the Grateful Dead didn't write like most of their lyrics. The Beatles, like, I mean, they had their moments where they covered stuff too. The Stones, you know, one of their name is literally
Muddy Waters
someone else's song.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Again,
I think it's a
nothing's
carrying of
competition.
tradition, like folklore, like that's what we're taught in school.
Yeah,
like
it's art.
passing
It's
down
like
of
the
stories.
impressionist like
That's
way
a
of
way to look
painting.
at
It's
it.
like,
Yeah.
it's almost like paying homage to the people you look up to. In a
Yeah,
way.
traditional music or like roots music. A lot of those guys will take that and kind of flip it upside down and all around, and that's what they did. At least like Zeppelin did that, and the Beatles.
The bottom line is 90% of rock bands that have come after Led Zeppelin would not have sounded like they had if Led Zeppelin didn't exist. So that's
Boom.
what makes them the greatest. Regardless if
White Snake.
Yeah, people can say whatever they want, but I mean,
I think you guys.
it's
I think
fine.
you guys got a Moby Dick in your future. I'm serious, dude.
I hope so.
Yeah, I feel it, man.
The album's awesome.
What do you
all
know,
around awesome.
the
Sound
album-
quality's great. You wouldn't think it came from Evansville, and you guys would think you're like a British band from like the 70s or 80s.
That is
like,
so cool to hear. I love hearing that kind of
British
stuff.
guys are
It's-
cool.
Seriously, dude. I listened to this and I was like, I said, how old are these guys?
right.
I was like, what? These guys aren't in their 40s? Like, these guys aren't in their 50s, like reliving the dream
Yeah, dude,
of
it's
like
awesome.
the glory days of Led Zeppelin touring. No, man. I mean, like, really though, you guys are crushing it. Do you guys have a particular song you want to outro on, or do you not want to outro on a song for the episode?
Well, I was gonna say before we
Jack's a
outro, I
stripper.
got a few things I want to cover. First of all, we need to
yeah.
slap that show and tell.
Oh, snap.
Oh yeah.
I know. We've had so many people that are like, oh, I didn't bring anything. Oh, woe is me. You guys actually did bring something?
Yeah, we brought a CD.
Oh, dang. Oh, dude. And here we go in this week's show and tell, dude. And this is you right here.
Okay.
So this is your guys' album.
Do I say anything? Do I say something?
yeah, just talk about it.
So this is our first record. It's self-titled, The Strangers. It has 8 tracks, and I'll show you the tracks real quick as well.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at that puppy, dude.
It's great. I love just like holding it in my hands and being like, holy shit.
Like,
we
we
have
made
this.
this.
Like this is like
People like physical things.
crazy. Yeah.
that they can
And it looks
touch.
like great
I know,
quality.
dude.
Produced from Wally Opus Studios.
Yep. Which is
So-
where, again?
In Evansville.
In
Just down the
Evansville?
road
Okay,
from
Wally
me.
Opus
Yeah.
is in Evansville.
That's
Really
right.
close to
You said that, and I don't know why I was hung up on the fact that I thought they recorded it in Louisville, but never mind. So Wally Opus, and that was here in Evansville. So good show and tell. And Rylan, to your point, people really do like physical things, dude. Like, it's weird how
Yeah.
that works out. Like,
Materialism.
I know, but that's a thing.
Great.
It's a thing that we're losing. I'm not necessarily contributing or attributing that to materialistic,
Yeah.
but like just the fabric of things and like
Yeah.
the touch of things, and like the further and further we go into this weird fucking Facebook meta world.
Well,
that we-
Mhm.
I also think that's why vinyl's making a comeback. You guys think
Yeah.
you'll put this album on
oh,
vinyl?
that would be fucking
Potentially.
sick.
Is that in
Maybe.
the works?
If you
Potentially.
get a vinyl copy, we will buy one here at the Days Grimm.
I'll buy 2.
Sweet.
I don't even have
I
a
think
player.
we're gonna
dude.
have a limited amount of them, but they
Well,
probably
our
are coming.
pre-order is in now.
All right,
We'll keep
all
you
right,
in mind.
I
We'll
got
write you on a list.
Yeah.
Please, no, I'm not
no, we
joking.
will. We
I will
will.
For real.
buy a record player for that reason. It'll probably be electronic and shitty, but I'll buy one. But that would be dope. I think that the vibe that you're putting out. I mean, there's a lot of people like Marcus King, or they're kind. Do you know Marcus King?
Yeah.
he's going back to like the old retro.
Yeah.
A lot of people are doing it, but you guys do it really, really well. You know what I mean?
And I
So-
think it
Marcus
was
King-
sound.
Marcus
like
King
the
does a
sound
good
quality of a vinyl
Yeah.
would suit the vibe that you guys
Yeah.
are putting
Oh,
out.
dude, you get that needle just fucking
Yeah.
hugging those grooves.
Well, this album's raw.
Dude,
It's raw as shit.
dude, that would be fucking. You know what I'm talking about. You listen to a couple
A
of.
record needle, not a
Needle.
Oh, not a recreational
needle.
needle.
not a
Can I ask-
recreational needle.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah,
No,
man.
dude,
go
I
for it.
love it when people ask us questions. And actually, I'm gonna make you ask us a question and you, because I love it. I
Shit.
just,
So, what's your favorite track?
mine is the Dazed. The,
Mine-
Dead
Yeah.
and Dazed?
What's the second to
Dead and
last one?
Dazed.
That
Oh, natural.
Natural
See, that's
Places.
interesting because we just intended on that just being an interlude. Like, and then that's
Almost didn't make it.
That's been one of the, like, the one that people comment on all the time.
You had one that you like actually screamed in.
Yeah, Fear Lies. That one is
Fear Your Lies. That's the one we're on that I paused. But
yeah, that's my personal favorite.
That one caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Those vocals were like, whoa! I was like, whoa! What the fuck?
Oh, actually, you might be talking about Shadow then.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
probably
growl.
am talking about
Shadow.
that.
His voice.
Shadow
does
does
a
like a more of
do
like
the
a gut
same
roll.
That's the one that caught me off guard. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
it was very well timed, and it meant where the track needed to go. So like,
I love metal, and it's like, but I hate bands who just constantly are like that stupid
some
shit.
goat horror,
No,
or
some of it. Okay, I hate calling it
You know
stupid
what I'm
shit
saying?
because I mean
It's art.
It's good.
It's art.
It's
It's
good.
art.
It's good. Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm personally not a fan. Whenever it's too much.
Yeah, no, but you said, and just to call back to the beginning of the episode, you said you like to put an emphasis on letting the listener hear the lyrics and like letting them in on the lyrical side of everything. So like, you can't necessarily do that if it's whoa 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 whoa. You know what I mean? So it's like, what's he
That's
saying?
really good, by the way.
What do you say? I think he killed a baby goat. I don't know, dude. Anyways,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys?
Yeah.
Can you come up with 2 questions for us?
What do you listen for whenever you listen to music?
What do I listen for? I don't.
Mine's a lot of the
You don't?
instrumental.
I don't. What I wait for a song to touch me in my no parts. And by that I mean I wait for a song that I legitimately will swear up and down.
Brought blood to your peni.
Not necessarily like erect.
Is
Settle
peni
down.
the plural? Penesia?
Penesia.
Okay.
It could be orgasmic. It's okay.
Or, brings you to orgasm, whatever. But what I'm getting at is that I don't listen to anything. I don't try to find a particular thing. I could be listening to fucking Germanic yodeling. I don't give a fuck. But if it fucking makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up and on the back of my fucking arms, dude, that is going platinum. That is going to get you somewhere, and that is what I listen for. If I don't hear it, I admit it's a good song. I admit it's a bad song, like subjectively, whatever. But like what I listen for is what I feel.
And yeah, I'm big on
I love
the
feel.
instrumental filling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I don't listen to a lot of death metal or anything like that because like
You're missing
well,
out.
not only that, but like I'm bipolar. I'm
Start with
bipolar, and I
Megadeth.
feel like
Try
if I put
Megadeth.
in a lot of like
It's a good
metal
intro.
music all the time, or some heavier music, it affects my emotions, and I tend to be more angry or short tempered or something. Yeah,
Yeah, he's homicidal.
Well,
is what
I
he's
actually, that's interesting that you say that because I've heard that a lot of people, that's the case for them. But for me, it's, I don't know, I find some kind of
and
like,
it's crazy too.
it
'cause you get-
relaxes me a little bit. To
You
be
get people that
honest.
like listen to classical music and they listen to a lot of classical music, and I feel like they're way more in touch with their emotions.
Also, a lot of serial killers listen to classical music. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's true.
But I was gonna
The
say I
guys that
listened
did
to-
Columbine. That's all I'm saying.
was
The
like-
guys that did Columbine were listening to Chopin before they went on their little.
But I was God bless.
They're
you.
just trying to get in a peaceful headspace.
Maybe, I don't know.
They're like, we're about to do this.
But I was gonna say I listened to like the instrumentals and like try to get that background feeling. You know what I mean? If it's more upbeat and stuff like that, like I tend to vibe with that. But Rylan, what question do you have for us?
Shit, man. I've been sitting here trying to think of one.
You got anything, dude?
See, I'm just so tempted to ask like something so similar to Thielen, but
You're good, dude.
I don't know.
Just let it come
Oh.
to you.
How did you guys meet each other, and how did this kind of thing start? Like, when did this all start?
Stop touching that mic, or I'm going to karate chop you from my chair. Stop it. That's how we met in a fist fight. No, I'm just joking. How did we meet, dude?
So I was doing a lot of video and photography at the time.
You were
and I
doing
was-
more photography than video,
Right.
but yeah.
And I went into an e-cig shop to get some juice, and there was a guy there basically asking the guy behind the counter if he knew anybody that did photo or video work. And I was actually up the street playing, and I went in there to was like, what's up, And they were telling me that the guy was like, Brian just got back from overseas and they were doing a YouTube page called Boredom Bros, which I can let you explain what Boredom Bros is.
Yeah, Boredom Brothers. Thank you for asking. God, here we go. Boredom Brothers. It was really just a short stint of my, once I found out that I sucked at music in high school, I was like, okay, well, what else can I do? I'm not much to look at. I suck at singing. I was like, well, what can I do? So a bunch of my buddies and I got together, and we were just kind of, or actually it was my brother and I, and we just put together a short film. And I can actually show you guys the film afterwards. It was like 5 minutes long. It was like a YouTube video, whatever. But it was actually really, really funny. And that was the moment I found out I was like, fuck, I could probably make people laugh. If I'm not good to look at, I'm not good at singing, I can fucking make people laugh, dude. I can figure it out, or try. But yeah, so Boredom Brothers was like we had like characters, man. Like we played like these, like we're obviously all from Southern Indiana, so we all have a little bit of that like Southern kind of. We're close to the Bible Belt. We're familiar with like what frog gigging is and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a little bit of a character, but then it's also a little bit of reality. So it was basically like who we were, but amplified. And we brought that, we amplified it so much. Yeah, we like multiplied it so much to make it funny.
Yeah.
But then we also did a lot of like videos where we would throw beers at each other in really creative ways. So we have videos of like us throwing beers on top of grain leg. Do you know what a grain leg is?
Like the grain bins you see at farm
Like those
fields
big
that are
towers.
giant.
We had a guy climb one of those big ass towers. It's like 100+ feet on a farm, and then he just like threw a beer down to me from the top of the grain leg, and I caught it, and like
We had a guy
I thought you
strapped
meant like you were
into
trying to hurt each other with
no, like we were doing it like
we had a
as
guy strapped into an excavator
shots.
going around in a circle.
Yeah, like trick shots.
Like
Yeah,
throwing
yeah,
beers
exactly.
and stuff.
But it was like beer throwing trick shots, and that was a lot of it. And then some of it was like comedy sketches and so on and so
But
forth.
They brought me into film season 2. And season 2 went on and things kind of slowed up. But Brian does Taco Tuesday. He has tacos every fucking Tuesday since Vietnam.
How do you think I get this strong, bro?
And he would always have buddies over, and I would only come to every few of them or whatever. But Brian and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, a lot of YouTube, a lot of everything. And Brian's very well versed in those things. And when I would come over, it boiled down to everybody would be talking, a house full of people, and then like Brian and I would get into a conversation on space or, how many chihuahuas we thought we could take on if we were locked into a basketball court.
As
or
one
something.
does. As one does.
And it just boiled down to everybody listening to just Brian and I talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, bro, like, you want to invest some money into a podcast? And we saved up money, and it's been 1.5 years, and we've been pushing them out.
Yeah, man. So I brought him on basically for a video project, and it turned out. I mean, the quality leaps and bounds. When he joined the team, we were shooting, like you said, all iPhone, everything. But then he came in with a mirrorless, and
It wasn't mirrorless at the time.
well,
I had 3 cameras at the time.
What were you shooting?
2 were DSLRs.
Canon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 1 Nikon.
And 1 Nikon. But he came in with his cameras and his actual lens and his professional equipment. Mwah. It was beautiful, dude. And it was like our comedy, like it still sucked, but like the trick shots looked even doper. It was just really, really cool, man.
I was going to say, last question we have for you guys on air
yeah.
isn't even a fucking question. Last minute shout outs. Who got you guys to where you are, and who's getting you guys to where you're going?
Okay. Family, friends, my parents, all kinds of that stuff. Good stuff. Let's not dive into that.
Wesley Luckdrill,
yeah,
definitely.
Wes, for sure. Ray Major, like my first ever guitar teacher, kind of like was a real strict stickler, kind of guy. Technique kind of
Military, very.
And he's. So him, I always wanted to shout him out one day. So
There you
thanks
go.
for the opportunity.
Yeah.
No, you're welcome. So
Yeah.
Ray, thank you.
Yeah, Cody Jones. He's been helping. He's a good friend of
Fuck
ours.
yeah.
He's been doing a lot of photography for us, and just all kinds of promotion. And
Any
stuff,
kind of
so-
like creative way you can think of to market, like joining Facebook
Yeah.
pages and just like shoving our shit in
yeah,
there.
really appreciative of
So,
him. Yeah.
because we kind of like want to build sort of a community of friends and people who like doing creative things, so we can all feed off of each other.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
networking. It's,
Yeah, definitely. So he's been trying to get into photography, and we've been kind of providing come shoot our shows, and it's a great place for you to put on your resume and stuff, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So, and we're best friends with him too. So it's been just he's just been really good with helping us out.
What, you're awfully quiet. You got anybody to shout out over here, Thielen?
Thomas Bernardin. I don't know exactly how to
yes.
pronounce your last name.
Thomas.
Sorry. but he's helped a lot with like filming stuff. I think we're working on. He filmed a lot of the Astra show.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
Yeah.
He's come to the basement and filmed, and then Derek Strickland, or Strickland, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm bad with last names. He is a friend of ours. He works at Guitar Center, audio engineer, local to this area, and he's helped with a lot of sound stuff.
Yep.
You guys got a lot of people in your corner, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's been great.
Takes a village.
Dude, it fucking does. Like, and this music is your child.
Yeah.
And protect it accordingly, gentlemen. And I'm really sorry the bass player couldn't be here tonight.
Yeah, shout out Caden Ray.
Yeah, he had polio.
Shout out Caden's
What did he
grandma.
have? He's got like spina bifida or something, or I'm joking.
I don't even know if I should
Caden
say
would like,
where he's
Caden
at.
would like to thank his family and
No,
friends.
it's fine. But it's a shame that he couldn't be here. I can only hope
Yeah.
that you guys we can have the full crew in here sometime. So
Yeah.
if you guys
Yeah,
ever want to
definitely.
if you guys ever want to come back again,
I'd love to come back. So
it's a pretty chill time, and it'd be cool to have him on as well. Get the full 4-man piece. But so you said Sweet Holly, right?
yeah,
Is that where we're going?
Somebody mentioned Sweet Holly. It's great. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna outro on Sweet Holly.
By the
and-
Strangers.
By the Strangers, guys, and this has been the Strangers on the Days Grimm, another thrilling episode. So thank you guys very much for your time. I greatly appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you so much for having us.
My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm, and if you guys want to go ahead and say your names.
Yeah.
My name is Lucas Washington.
Rylan Cox.
My name is Teelan Atterbury.
And who's missing?
Caden Ray.
And this album is
are the
phenomenal,
Strangers.
guys. Thank you,
Check
guys.
it out. Come get you some. You guys crushed it.
Hey guys, if you liked what you heard today, there will be a new episode next Tuesday, as well as every Tuesday at 6 a.m. So hit that subscribe button and let your phone do all the work for you.